last chapter of my Ultimate Back Fitness book, I was going to write a book about superstiffness, and then I ran out of energy, and I just added it as a chapter in the last edition. But there's 8 principles, and it's all about enhancing performance and increasing your injury resilience by appropriately activating your core muscles. So we've talked a little bit about speed and hitting a golf club and creating the pulse. Hitting a golf ball, pardon me. So that would be the pulsing part. It is one component. You can imagine if you were to stiffen your body in certain if you were to take a handshake, for example, you could handshake with a colleague, but if you stiffened your core and then stiffened your fist on the left-hand side while you were shaking hands with the right-hand side, you'd find a larger hand grip. And there's many scientific reasons. You're tightening the fascia, but you're also creating a neural response. Your body has facilitators and inhibitors in the neural system. So when you squeeze hard with your left hand, it's a cross inhibition in that you're inhibiting the inhibitors, which allows more strength to be expressed on the opposite side of the body. So there are some clever physios who use this, for example, in people who have neurological damage or just a loss of strength with age or inactivity. And they're really manipulating the inhibitors through the neural system. Anyway, that's another component of super stiffness. Another one might be some of your listeners who train will be very familiar with sticking points. Super stiffness allows you to get through sticking points. So if I could just use a bench press as an example, you lower the weight to the bar touches your chest. You initiate the pulling off your chest or pushing off your chest primarily with the pecs and the anterior deltoid muscle. Then as you shift strategies onto the triceps, that's usually the sticking point. Well, if you could then stiffen your core, and just as you're approaching the stiffening point, you grab the bar and bend it, externally rotating. There is using your latissimus dorsi now as a very effective eliminator of the sticking point in bench press. And again, the Russians, the Eastern Europeans, if I was doing an interview there, they go, yeah, well, of course, we know that. But in the North American culture and the Western European culture of strength, that's news to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's mostly just sort of get the weight and push it up and bring it back down again.
It's funny. I asked a group of my students the other day, I said, do you folks know how to do bench press? And they just looked at me and they said, yeah. And I thought, oh, how naive, because it takes me about an hour to coach the nuances of bench press, where they can, add another 10 or 20% to their lift immediately after the hour. But they thought laying bench press was laying on your back and lowering weight to your chest and pushing it back up again.